a very warm, windy welcome to the Haugh in Earlston for round 7 of the Kings of the Sevens tournament. After their win at their own tournament yesterday, Kelso are now only 8 points behind Melrose, and I'm sure they'll be looking to take home another title today. Here with the highlights of the earlier rounds, it's Stuart Cameron.
Melrose and Edinburgh Accies have had some good tussles this campaign, and once again they met in the semi-final at Earlston, with Melrose taking an early lead with a very quick Doug Crawford try. But moments later, Max Wallace raced up to the other end of the pitch despite a tap tackle to bring the scores level. Scott Clark put Melrose back in front with a quickly taken penalty, and then a touch of magic from Crawford, who saw there was no sweeper at the back. The ball sat up beautifully for him as he helped to open up a lead at half-time. Accies, who are well ahead in their bid to regain the Macquarie Cup for top non-border side in the K7s, were back in it instantly after the restart, with Gavin Welsh cantering down the right flank to reduce the gap once again as the City side tried to get themselves into the final. But a late Kieran Clark try wrapped things up for Melrose, despite Wallace claiming his second try of the tie right at the end. But it was Melrose who went through by 26 points to 21. In the other semi-final, Stirling County fielded a strong squad to take on Selkirk and immediately showed their class, with Mikey Heron going in under the posts to take the lead. And they doubled that lead with Eric Davey picking up a loose ball, and it was an easy run-in for him to extend County's lead. Selkirk were awarded a penalty try when Blake Cullen was impeded by Murray Shedden near the try line, and while he spent 2 minutes in the bin, Selkirk scored again with Callum Anderson having a quick dart over the line. The second half started with a terrific break from Harvey Cameron Barr. He was well tackled by Callum Anderson, but unfortunately picked up an injury when he landed badly and had to leave the field. Anderson meanwhile gathered the loose ball, sprinted up the park and went in for a try. Back came Eric Davey with another Stirling score, and that triggered the floodgates to open, with further tries from Thomas Burns, Nick Torkington and Archie Rankin to put some high gloss on the scoreboard, and it was County who made it through to the final with a 36-21 win.
So after an exciting afternoon of rugby, the surprise package in the final today is Stirling County taking on Melrose, and here to take us through it's Stuart McFarlane and Sam Mathews.
Stirling drafting in cover from Selkirk, which they may or may not use during the course of this particular final. Stirling County then get this match underway in blustery conditions at the Haugh, and it's an opportunity for Melrose in these unfamiliar colours to get possession on the early stages. Melrose then looking to gain some ground up and over the halfway line. Stirling's defence led by Eric Davey, who's been a very productive figure during the course of the tournament so far. Ball out on the Melrose right hand side. Kieran Clark with an early touch in the first half for him. Melrose playing in their distinctive yellow and black hooped socks. That's the easiest way to really identify him, as Clark gets another touch once more. Intricate play just in and around that 10 metre line for Melrose as they go to ground just now. Latest player up on his feet is Declan Mulcahy, wearing number 2 in this final. So Melrose in the blue, white and red with the black shorts and the yellow and black socks. Stirling County in their starting colours, so they obviously won the toss and were able to keep their home jerseys. Tap and go, Stirling, as the referee penalised Melrose, and Stirling now trying to build just on their left hand side. Glenn Bryce again looking to try and get involved. The ball is floated out there to Mikey Heron, scored the opening points in the semi-finals. Out the side door, an opportunity then for Stirling to get round the corner and touch down for a score, and that's Nick Torkington with the opening try in this final. I think it'll take us the entire final to get used to the fact that Melrose are not playing in anything like familiar colours for them, but the referee just intervening there as Stirling again making life very difficult for Melrose in possession. And Sam, you mentioned it, and Andrew, I think you agreed as well. from a defensive point of view, they are one team that can deal with a one-on-one situation very well. They don't necessarily need to bring reinforcements in, whether it's in attack or more in particular in defence.
No, they don't, and obviously they've lost the talent of Harvey Cameron Barr, who's been superb. Is Stirling to go in again?
Yeah, just on the right hand side there, you can see the 21 is in for the score. Murray Shedden was peeling away towards that right hand side, making himself available to finish off from 5-6 metres out. He still had work to do because Melrose were tracking across all the time, but to score 2 tries in relatively quick succession in the final certainly lifts the mood around the camp. And Stirling, you have to say, were coming in pretty confident mood as it was. Declan Mulcahy did very well there, but just couldn't quite escape, and now it's with Kieran Clark. Nice weaving run from Clark up towards halfway, but caught just short there. Referee again intervening as Stirling not rolling away. Clark and co keen to get on with it very quickly. Douglas Crawford then, as the ball works its way out towards the Melrose right hand side, they cross halfway back into their own half, looking to try and build. Mulcahy once again on towards Clark. Nice little sidestep from Clark, runs into some trouble in the form of Glenn Bryce. Recycled again, Crawford onto Mulcahy. Mulcahy just almost losing the jersey there, trying to fend off the attentions of the very strong Scott figure of Eric Davey. Back, long pass out there this time from Scott Clark out towards the right hand side. Suddenly an opportunity goes the way of Melrose and of Weir, and Weir then weaving his way, long, languid sort of figure, touches down, and certainly making Stirling County pay down that right hand side. A nice turn of pace, and he's not maybe the most elegant runner, but he's, goodness me, he's effective.
He is, yeah. We've not seen too much of that this afternoon, I must admit. We know what Hamish Weir can do with ball in hand. We've not seen him in his long rangy figure take off the touchline like that too many times, but yeah, when he gets going, it's pretty impressive, and it's a fine score, and it's come at the right time for Melrose.
Yeah, you have to hit back in that sort of fashion, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, especially a try like that, which is probably an eye-opener for Stirling. It was a quick sort of break from the halfway line, and Hamish Weir, like you said, he's got the rangy stride. He probably moves a bit quicker than his late great dad, and his dad was once described as a giraffe, an angry giraffe or something, so he runs like an angry cheetah, we'll call him that, but he is a man that can score from anywhere, and they have other players like that. Kieran Clark, Donald Crawford, they can score and break a game open, so probably a wake-up call for Stirling, but also an eye-opener that they're going to have to be in this for the whole of this final. They cannot afford to slack off at any point.
Yeah, Douglas Crawford injecting a little bit of pace and determination into this Melrose performance, and has it back once more as Melrose again looking to try and splinter this Stirling defence as Clark picks up again. Clark, away he goes, hauled back there, just the bottom of the back of the jersey just holding him back from trying to escape there, a bit like Scrappy Doo looking to try and attack some menacing force that was coming towards him. Scooby had nothing to do with it, but Scrappy was very much wanting it, very much like Clark. Here he is again. It's almost like a Billy Whiz character as well, as he works his way around almost a full 360, then goes to ground just on the edge of the 10 metre line. Stirling again picking up, but unable to do that as they come clean through there into an offside position, and Melrose have it once more. Hacked forward then. He could well be in for a score here, but Stirling, 2 players back, right on the try line in that bottom left hand corner. Stirling again trying to gain some ground. Callum Anderson is on, of course. He's the player that's been recruited from Selkirk, as Stirling, oh dear me, untidy stuff there, untidy from Eric Davey, and it's Corey Goldsborough with the score. I think it was Davey who just lost sight of the ball momentarily at the worst possible moment, and opportunity there presented itself for Melrose, and they're in for a score. And that conversion attempt was a kickable one, even on a blistery day like this, but just wide of the uprights there. So 12 points to 10. Anyone's game, Andrew.
It is, yeah. As I say, Sucker Punch conceding the try in the first place, but they've been let off the hook a wee bit with the poor conversion from Scott Clark. I think he'll be disappointed with that one, and 2 points in it at half time.
Some good running into the 22, forced backwards once more, but Declan Mulcahy 5 metres from the line just could not find Douglas Crawford on this occasion. The referee bringing play back to the edge of the 22, and Melrose have it once more. And across on the left-hand side was Brett. He was slowed up there, forced backwards. Reinforcements coming in defensively for Stirling County. Looked to try and pick up Melrose once again as Brett just backs off. He could well be first receiver. It's picked up now by number 10, who's Kieran Clark, and these replacement jerseys for Melrose and the replacement numbers from earlier on as Stirling County suddenly escaped from the 22, beyond the 10-metre line, beyond halfway, beyond the Melrose 10. The good work there from Craig Jardine, gaining some good valuable metres, but the decision again going the way of Stirling County, so they're looking to hit back, having lost some valuable advantage in the early stages of this tie. I'll bring Andrew in just a moment, and we'll hear a bit more from Sam also as Stirling again. Glenn Bryce trying to find a way through towards the line. Stirling do indeed. Persistence plays off, and it is Derek Davey who's in underneath the posts, and there was something inevitable about that in terms of how they were able to break down towards the edge of the 22, and this Stirling side haven't given up too many opportunities similar to that in previous ties.
Eric Davey has been very impressive. He's scored 2 tries in the semi-final win, and another try to add to his tally in the final as a conversion successful. So 17 points to 12. Stirling back in front, and this tie's got a lot more to give.
And that's the exciting thing, you know, for a big crowd here on a bank holiday weekend. We've spoken about it being windy and cold, but if the action is good out there, if there is a local side involved and it's nip and tuck all the way in the final, I mean, it makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. The last thing you want to see is a sort of dead rubber final, but it's anything from that, the way Kieran Clark's taken this kick-off here, and he's already racing into Stirling territory.
And Kieran Clark still making his way into the 22, needs reinforcements. Crawford coming racing in, so too is Connor Spence available as well. It's back now with Brett then with the loop pass out towards the right hand side, and again Hamish Weir then a turn of pace from Weir, and he was able to evade the challenges as players were flinging themselves towards his ankles, and Hamish Weir is in for a score. And again Melrose, anything Stirling can do, well, Melrose can offer up the same if not better. And it is the brightest it's been around the Haugh all afternoon, because it has been a chilly one. It's unfamiliar to be here at the beginning of May in such cold and blustery conditions. They normally get a very warm, pleasant Sunday afternoon for sevens. As Stirling again looking to try and build from inside the 22. And again they know that each score is going to be that bit more valuable as we get closer towards the full time. Craig Jackson involved in the build-up play there, but the build-up has really just forced them from left to right as they still occupy space inside the 22. Stirling then once more looking at their options, trying to face up, trying to go forward, trying to evade the challenges, and suddenly an opportunity for Crawford, and Crawford is in. Douglas Crawford with the try. Could that be absolutely crucial, because we're closing in on full time, and Douglas Crawford latching on to some good work from Brett, and suddenly Melrose have an opportunity to lift a trophy.
Yeah, they do, and ironically the mistake came from the former Melrose player Craig Jackson, who took the ball on and tried to get the offload away, and Douglas Crawford reacted well, intercepted and had the legs to get there, and suddenly Melrose in front.
A chance now for them to perhaps see it out and lift some silverware on the Sunday after the disappointment of 24 hours earlier.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we speak about Kelso and Melrose going tit for tat in the Kings of the Sevens. They've both won tournaments off each other so far in this campaign. Kelso's probably slightly early exit for their standard this afternoon would have really woken something up for Melrose here. You can hear the bench of the Melrose side and the supporters they've brought with them, the short distance. This means something to them this afternoon. They want to rectify yesterday's result and put some real daylight between themselves.
Melrose 22, Stirling 17. Melrose look at the referee. He's given them the nod. He's signalled it's all over. They run towards the touchline. They kick the ball into touch. They begin the celebrations, and they will lift the silverware in just a few minutes' time. And they've been able to mastermind a way of seeing off this Stirling County side that have offered so much during the course of this afternoon's tournament. And Melrose are victorious in unfamiliar colours. They won't care. Right now it's all about more Kings of the Sevens points, more success, another winner's medal, and it's onwards and upwards for the side from just down the road at the Green Yards.
So So after an enthralling final, it is Melrose who now extend their lead in the Kings of the Sevens as we head into Selkirk next week. We hope you can join us then, but for now, from all of us here at a very chilly Haugh, cheerio.